These 6 AI agents will amplify your existing capabilities to help you reach $1 million plus quickly without needing to hire any additional employees. But before we get into that, let's talk about what an AI agent actually is. You see, most people think AI agents are just really fancy chatbots. But what if I told you they're actually digital assistants that can think, plan, and act alongside you and your team? Traditional AI like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or Grok will wait for a command from you, when an agent can actually create its own action plan and support your team's goals based on what it knows and basically how it's been trained, like this digital employee. Like ChatGPT knows information up to a certain point, like what you've trained it on, but there is a cutoff. It's not technically live. When agents can actually browse the web, access databases, internal resources, memos, anything you give it access to, and it can actually give real-time actionable insight based on the knowledge it has access to within your company or organization. Now, these agents can then execute tasks totally autonomously whilst keeping humans in the decision making. This is literally called human in the loop. So an example of this could be, it could draft, like it could see a response coming in from a customer. It could actually draft the response. Now, it could send the response when you are really confident with how the agent performs. But what you can actually do is have it just draft it and then notify a human. And that's what you call, say, human in the loop, right? So think of it this way. ChatGPT is like asking like a librarian questions. But an AI agent is like hiring a research assistant who knows exactly what your team needs, right? So can you see the difference? An AI agent can like plan, use tools, remember context, and execute actually on actions like a digital worker, all while amplifying your team's expertise rather than replacing it. You're going to be converting your team from humans to superhumans with agents. They are just getting more leverage. By the way, if you are wanting to learn how to give your current team or business superpowers using AI, make sure you are subscribed. Every week I'm dropping AI related business videos helping you grow your business, start a business, and we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I would really appreciate it. Okay, so now you understand what we're working with. Let me show you how these 6 AI agents specifically can amplify your team to $1 million plus performance. And it all starts with an AI agent I like to call the hustler. See, most sales teams spend 80% of their time or so doing like the research and the admin side of the sales role. They only actually spend around 20%, maybe 30% of the time on sales calls, actually closing deals. Now, the hustler agent will work alongside your sales team. It will do stuff like scrape LinkedIn, Twitter, industry database to find those ideal prospects for your team to reach out to. It can also then research the leads, do detailed briefings for the salespeople. So when they are talking to these prospects, they're like fully informed. If anything, they're over-informed. They know tons about these individuals, especially the individuals that are really active on social media, which is like crazy powerful. Imagine walking into a meeting and being like, hey, did you enjoy the Bills game the other day? Because they posted on one of their socials that they'd just been there. Like, this is the type of power we're giving them. It allows them to build rapport massively, right? It can also handle things like the follow-up sequences, the appointment booking, freeing up your team to focus on that rapport building and closing the deals, which is all you want them to be doing as well, right? I know one sales team, no joke, that went from a 20% close rate to a 45% by just implementing sales agent within their business, because it allowed their team to just focus on closing deals and building great rapport and connection with those prospects, which just gave them more time to close deals. Trust me, I have hired hundreds of salespeople. The thing they like least is updating goddamn CRMs. They want to be closing deals, all right? But the best prepared sales team needs support during the whole sales process, right? Which is where the second agent comes in, which is one I like to call the rainmaker. So your best salespeople have instincts. They have relationship skills, they know how to close, and AI actually can't replace that. This is human to human, hand-to-hand combat, right? But what if AI could handle all of the prep work and all of the follow-up for all of these deals, right? Giving them all of their time back and leverage. So this agent will actually analyze the prospect's digital footprint and create detailed buyer profiles for your sales team. It can draft custom proposals. It can handle initial objections through emails that they might have based on the information it's gathered, leaving your team just to focus on rapport, connection to close those deals, right? It can also suggest the optimal timing for follow-up and provide conversation starters for recent prospect activity. Like I just gave you that example of like, they've just been to a football game. Like, it can tell your sales team so they can walk into a meeting and ask them a question about it. straight away or where they're from. This is literally how humans connect. Now we're able to do this at scale. It can also handle stuff like post-meeting summaries, CRM updates. Your sales people can just go from sales call to sales call to sales call to sales call, closing deals, deal after deal after deal, and they don't have to do the stuff that they hate, and you just get more money in your back pocket. Imagine now your sales team is closing 50% more deals than they were previously because they're just spending their time on nurturing these relationships and closing deals and not paperwork and admin rubbish. They don't want to be doing it. You don't want them doing it. Great. So now your sales team is operating at the peak efficiency. All right. So now who's going to deliver all these results for all these new clients that you are closing? And this is what brings me on to the agent number 3, which is one that I like to call the operator. Your delivery team has expertise and creativity that your clients love, right? But project management and documentation shouldn't be eating up all of their valuable time. So this agent is going to focus on taking your client's requirements and automatically creating detailed project plans, freeing up your team's time to focus on execution and client happiness. It will handle things like progress tracking, timeline management, client updates, while your team works on the important tasks. It manages things like checklists, test protocols, ensuring your team is meeting the deadlines and the quality standards that it should be. It can also draft communications with your clients, progress reports. This is going to essentially allow your team to focus on solving the actual problems that you were hired to solve, right? Your delivery team is going to become 3 times more productive because you are creating value and not managing spreadsheets. Also, your team satisfaction is going to go through the roof because now they're doing this skilled work that they love rather than the admin that is just a byproduct of their role before these AI agents could help them. Now your delivery team is operating at full capacity, but what about content that keeps your pipeline full? Which brings me on to agent number 4, the storyteller. Your marketing team understands your brand voice and your audience better than AI. Currently, keyword. But right now, content production bottlenecks shouldn't limit creative potential of your marketing team. So this agent is going to help handle all of the research to draft initial marketing documents so your team has time to focus on strategy and creative direction. So they aren't going to get sucked into the button clicking tasks, right? It's going to create multiple content variations for your team to then refine and improve upon, right? It can do stuff like handle all the optimization for your website. You can do publishing schedules, publish all the content on all the different social media platforms, which is like crazy. So you're now omnipresent. I literally know a marketing manager where previously they would produce 10 bits of content marketing materials for platforms. They can now produce thousands in minutes. Their output is now 100x what it previously was. This now frees up your marketing team to spend time on the big picture of like, how do we blow up this brand and make it global, rather than like grinding on producing, the next bit of content that needs to go out there. AI can now handle all of that for you. And as we know, like content, ultimately, the point of it is to drive leads, and leads do become customers. That is why we are doing it. But customers need support, okay? So what happens when your support team is snowed under? We want them to shine, right? And this is where the next agent comes in and gives them a little bit of help. And I like to call agent number 5 the guardian. So your support team builds relationships and solves complex customer problems which require human empathy. They shouldn't be required to answer really basic, mundane tasks that just absorb a ton of time. And this is why this agent is so powerful. You see, this agent can handle over 90% of routine inquiries instantly, escalating complex issues to the correct team. You, I guarantee, have interacted with an AI agent like this because this is one of the very robust solutions that already exist. If you go to Amazon and you have a question, you got a little chat thing, that is an AI agent. Amazon uses an AI agent in their chat functionality to help you solve quick and easy problems, and that gives you a better experience. And then it will also escalate those problems to someone if it is more of a complex issue. So it can handle simple transactions like password resets, account updates, super easily and very quickly. It can also track things like customer sentiment, can flag opportunities for your team to turn upset customers into advocates, right? Like increasing the trust scores and the happiness scores for your customers if they're not engaging or if they're not doing certain tasks, depending on your business, right? The support team then literally becomes the customer success specialist instead of just mundane ticket processes. So customers get faster resolutions, you get cheaper operations, plus the people on both sides are happy. You're happier because you're spending less money, and the people are happier because they're getting better results, right? So now you have every department operating at its peak efficiency. But there is one agent that I haven't told you about yet that coordinates everything and empowers your entire management team. And this one I left for last because it's top secret. All right. And this one I genuinely like to call the COO. This is the leadership agent. This empowers your leadership team to make strategic decisions and drive growth without getting buried in operational details and reports. So this agent is going to liaise with all of these other agents. It's going to monitor them. It can provide things like insight. It can provide things like reports. It can provide things like recommendations. So you get to be given all this information and make all those strategic decisions that are going to drive growth and improvement, not only for your business, but for the customers, right? It can handle things like routine accounting, it can handle things like invoicing, financial reporting. It can give your team clean data and allow you to actually talk to the data to make really precise decision making. Imagine all of the data you've had in your business over this time. If you were to able to talk to it and try and pull out insights, that was a pipe dream. That is now a reality. It can identify the performance trends, the bottlenecks, where problems might be rearing their head in your business that you might not see. It is a proactive management agent. It is finding the issues and finding the opportunities before you can necessarily even see them. It can manage stuff like freelancer coordination, HR, like I said, all the other agents, all the other people within your organization. Think of this as your AI operations manager, handling all of the details so you just focus on leadership and growth. And speaking of growth, you can't scale your team in today's world without having the right AI skills. So watch this video up here to learn the 7 AI skills to make you and your team unstoppable in 2025.